information extracted from Volk reveals the entire operation. The clandestine operations of Fragata, their shipments, Vladimir Makarov, the Inner Circle, everything. Sandman informs Captain Price, who also explains that Vladimir Makarov is having a war meeting with his top advisors within the city of Prague, in a place called Hotel Lustig. However, Prague is currently undergoing a war between the Inner Circle and the Sesh resistance. Price, Soap, and Yuri go in and cooperate with the resistance to get an abandoned church as sniper overwatch to kill Makarov. Jonathan Price takes a long drag from his cigar as the trio exit from the sewer and into the river, where they see modern-day Prague. Ultranationalists transporting artillery and tanks and equipment across the dark, rainy sky, taking resistance fighters as prisoners, executing men and women alike. They make their way across the river into another sewer exit, where we meet Sergeant Kamarov for the first time since Call of Duty 4. Kamarov is a loyalist liaison between the disavowed Task Force 141 and the Sesh resistance. He assigns resistance fighters to assist Price and Soap as they make their way across the enslaved city of Prague. Soap and Yuri make their way through sewers and alleyways, taking out snipers, squads, and dog patrols. Price and the resistance reveal themselves upon the rooftop and take out the enemy soldiers. The alarm rings, announcing the inevitable war that is to ensue. Heavy fighting erupts throughout the city, with BTR-80 tanks ripping through civilian converted soldiers. Injured men litter apartment buildings and fires burn. Heavy casualties of the war take their toll on the former civilians of Prague. Soap and Yuri evade the attacks and ambushes and reach a church, where they encounter a resistance encampment and climb to the roof to provide Overwatcher Price during the war meeting due in hours. The team prepares for the assassination, Soap and Yuri providing sniper support for Price, being led to the Hotel Lustig by Kamarov, monitoring the security cameras and communication links. Yuri then locates Price at the top of the hotel, rappelling over the clock and down to the balcony of the penthouse. Soap and Yuri fire on the guards in the balcony, clearing the path for Price. The penthouse is clear, but with no sign of a war meeting or Makarov. Instead, the elevator doors open and reveal the tortured and bloodied Kamarov, tied to a chair. Makarov says his farewell to Price. The chair starts to flash and beep, with the startled Price running out the window. The penthouse then detonates, wakening the birds as the war erupts. Soap notices the sudden beeping in their sniper nest. He pushes Yuri out of the window, but Soap catches a beep close to the explosion, severely injuring Soap. The two fall down the skyscraper church, breaking their fall via scaffoldings. Yuri then falls unconscious as Soap is pinned down under the debris. Price arrives and clears the debris off of Soap and pulls him out. Yuri gets up and pulls the injured Soap up. Yuri carries him over as Price provides suppressive fire to move down the street. The team dodges huge artillery fire, wrecking buildings and blowing up cars. Bullets whiz past and massive blood spills from Soap down the street. A gunship fires down the street, forcing the team through a condo building until they come to an alley where they switch roles. Yuri receives an assault rifle as Price carries Soap over to a nearby resistance outpost. They soon reach outposts where the resistance defends them as they lay a bloodied Soap on a table. Price tries to keep Soap alive as he shares his final moments with them. Price shouts for a medic, but Soap accepts his fate. Before Soap is gone, he tells Price, with his dying breath, that Makarov knows Yuri. Captain Jonathan Soap MacTavish dies in front of his commanding officer and friend, Captain John Price. A Russian tank ambushes the two and forces them into the wine cellar. However, as Yuri opens the door, Price pushes Yuri down 2 flights of stairs and aims his pistol at Yuri, demanding to know why Makarov knows him. Yuri flashes back to his youth as a specialist working for the Ultranationalist Party in 1996. He wakes from sleep when he meets Vladimir Makarov for the first time, only as a foot soldier working for Imran Zakhaev. A flash from the far penthouse in the hotel blasts through Zakhaev, tearing his left arm off. Zakhaev runs off and gets in the Jeep with Makarov and Yuri. The Jeep pulls away and Yuri recollects how Zakhaev was in deep honor for saving his life and gave them both military power and the Ultranationalist Party. Yuri flashes again to the Saudi Arabian Peninsula in 2011. U.S. gunships fly above the sky as he joins Makarov viewing the skyline of the capital city. This is the capital city seen in Call of Duty 4 with Sergeant Paul Jackson in the first officer class in his company. Vladimir Makarov receives a phone call from his cell phone, confirming the detonation of a nuclear bomb in the capital city. Makarov introduces Yuri to the beginning of the Second Russian Civil War to build up of World War II. Yuri then flashes back to his original place as one of the terrorists in the Zakhaev International Airport massacre. Lev and Victor pin Yuri in an underground parking garage just beneath the Zakhaev International Airport. Makarov reveals Yuri to be a betrayer, spying and giving information to the Spetsnaz regarding Makarov and inner circle. Makarov shoots Yuri in the chest, putting him to the ground. The doors open and hundreds of bodies litter the ground, and blood covers everything. He drops to the ground and fires a dropping pistol. He pulls it up and sees Makarov and his terrorist enemies and civilians. Yuri, still bleeding and disoriented, fires shots but misses them. The terrorists walk up the escalator and Yuri loses them, dropping his pistol and falling unconscious. He wakes up to a medic reviving him, putting an oxygen mask on him as he fades to white. Price later understands, but is still reluctant to trust him. At their safe house, Price asks Commander MacMillan for detailed info on Yuri's information about the Karlstein Castle, one of Makarov's safe houses, deep in the forests of the Czech Republic. MacMillan gives Price the entire schematic of the castle, pinpointing the extreme security measures and tight architecture. Price then requests a large shipment of weapons and gear for heading to the stronghold, tasking with obtaining Makarov's location from the command center. The stronghold, otherwise known as the Karlstein Castle, opens up to Yuri as we parachute down amidst the heavy storm and trees with Price. The two land behind a patrol on the ridge and Price dispatches them with his pistol. The two then weave behind broken cobblestone walls, avoiding spotlights and dense patrols. Price and Yuri crawl underneath supply trucks while planting C4 when they need to cover their escape. The two move in stealth across the courtyard, where Yuri plants C4 on a platform. Price and Yuri infiltrate the security office, killing its occupants and gaining access to the security systems. Price shuts off the lights in the subterranean levels of the castle, mainly the prisons and ammo caches. Price and Yuri then breach a wall underneath the command center, unusing the thunder of the storm to come up with explosions. They climb up and see the command center, and on the screen, Vladimir Makarov interrogating President Vorshevsky for nuclear launch codes for all of Russia. Makarov then threatens to capture his daughter from Berlin, Germany, and kill her until he gives up the launch codes. The screens then go dark and Price throws a frag in the room. The two slide down, ripping the foundations of the wall and crashing him into the kitchen. Yuri kills him with extreme prejudice and moves forward towards the courtyard. Balconies are kill zones and the technology of modern warfare clashes with the classical views in the medieval city. Yuri and Price then build grids, and the BTR-80 tank collapses through the gaping hole in the grid, and it explodes into the river. Price and Yuri reach a courtyard, but are pinned down by tanks. Price enters the jeep and drives off while Yuri plans to detonate C4 placed earlier, taking out tanks and buying them time to escape. Price nearly drives off the cliff and heads towards the fire tank depot, firing upon them. Price then drives the jeep completely off the cliff. The flaming jeep barrels towards the river below, until Price and Yuri eject their nuclear parachute and glide away from Karlstein Castle into the abandoned forest of the Czech Republic for extraction. The intel obtained from Captain Price and Yuri from the Czech Republic is given to the Delta Force, and, along with cell phone snipers, they pinpoint the vulnerable Elena Vorshevsky in Berlin, Germany. With their security teams dead, she attempts to call for rescue in a safe house in downtown Berlin during the ultranationalist attacks. The Delta Force is tasked with rescuing the girl before Makarov's men reach her and take her hostage. The heavy thumping of helicopters brings Sergeant Derek Frost Westbrook and the Delta Force to the war-torn city of Berlin, Germany. Crumbling buildings fly past and pillars of smoke and grime coat the city. The convoy carries Metal Team and the rest of the Delta Force to the roof of a wrecked office building to provide sniper support for the Granite Team to extract Elena Vorshevsky from Makarov's forces. However, an RPG takes down the Onyx Team, forcing the Delta Force to land and proceed on foot to a roof. Sandman climbs the stairs to the roof and fires the ultranationalists in the office cubicles. Frost throws grenades and 9 bangs to flush out enemies out of cover. Delta Force clears the floors and advances to the roof, where they provide sniper support for the Granite Team on the adjacent building and square. The Granite Team then rappels down to the 5th floor suite and breach hotel, but the 5th floor explodes in fire, enabling the Metal Team to rescue op to save Elena Vorshevsky. The remaining Delta Force rappels down from the roof to the street level. Delta Force encounters the crash site of the Onyx Team and calls casualty evacuation. They continue forwards to Havel River, where German tanks on a bridge with resistance from infantry and tank assault. Frost takes them all down and uses nearby RPGs to eliminate the enemy tanks. The streets clear and the Delta Force moves in. However, explosions blow out the structure of a skyscraper in front of them, and the building slowly sinks to the ground, grinding up cement and toppling nearby buildings. The buildings then crash on top of the Delta Force and German tanks. Frost falls unconscious. Frost awakens to the destroyed wreckage of the skyscraper, dust falling down and fires burning. Enemy mortar shells explode on the remaining survivors. Bodies litter the streets. The Delta Force recovers and escapes the kill zone. Frost and the metal team venture through the twisted world of a sideways building. Wrecked walls and destroyed floors set the tone for the effects of World War III. They eliminate them in the bar or the restaurant of a hotel. They reach the 3rd floor, where Makarov's forces are capturing the daughter via helicopter. Sandman opens the door and explodes, pins Sandman and Frost and brings out 2 armored soldiers. Frost dispatches them with Sandman's pistol and chases after the helicopter flying away from the burnt, destroyed suite. Grinch aims to fire, but Sandman pulls his gun down, telling him he can't make the shot. The helicopter flies away from the battered Delta Force and away from Berlin. The disavowed Task Force 141 and the Delta Force then cooperate away from government jurisdiction to take part in a joint operation to save President Vorshevsky and his daughter. They locate the helicopter that captured the daughter to the Mir diamond mine in Siberia, where Makarov has held the president since his capture in the snowy forests of Russia. Sergeant Derek Frost Westbrook is nowhere to be found during the rescue op, making him the only member of Metal Team not to be present. Price and Yuri join Sandman, Truck, and Grinch as they infiltrate the diamond mine via elevator. They reach their floor, but an RPG hits the elevator, crashing it and flying sparks all over. The elevator crashes to the bottom floor, forcing the team to travel on foot. Yuri equips night vision goggles to battle the ultra-nationalists in the dark. They soon encounter an impenetrable blast door entrance to the mine. However, they make their way up to the service entrance where Price and Sandman kick in the front doors and view the grand diamond mine. Construction buildings cover the snowy landscape as a giant mining excavator provides the backdrop to Makarov's hideout. Yuri uses the nearby Predator drone to soften up the enemy forces through the construction yard. Missiles streak through the air and hit their targets. However, as his team approaches the underground entrance to the deep recesses of the mine, Sam's sight destroys the UAV. Sandman requests guns support to take down the enemy forces within to allow entrance. Artillery shells explode and leave a scar on the buildings as well as their shell-shocked occupants. Yuri approaches the door and breaches it, only to find Elena Vorshevsky. Price carries her to a stretcher and Truck translates that the Russians took her father deeper into the mine. The team heads down to the mine entrance where they just miss him being escorted to the elevator. Yuri and the team rappel down and chase after the president. Price climbs on top of the shelter and plants explosive charges on the roof, where Yuri breaches and kills the president's captors. They transport him to the evac helicopter after evading an onslaught, but an RPG takes down their support chopper and incapacitates Yuri. Yuri awakes the Truck, carrying him over to the Black Hawk, viewing Price and Sandman fighting endless rounds of ultranationalists. Price switches roles and carries Yuri over the chopper and hands him his assault rifle. Yuri fights along Sandman, Truck, and Grinch, fighting off impossible masses of ultranationalists. Grinch dispatches them with precision and Sandman fights with proficiency. President Vorshevsky helps Yuri onto the helicopter as he and Price fight alongside the Delta Force. Sandman urges them to leave without them, Price refusing to abandon them. A stray RPG forces the pilot to leave the Delta Force behind for dead in an effort to escape the president intact. The mine begins to self-destruct as Price desperately calls for Sandman. The helicopter flies away from Siberia and from the doomed Delta Force. The American newscaster announces the return of President Boris Vorshevsky and the beginning of peace talks between Russia and NATO. He also dictates that the international terrorist Vladimir Makarov is still at large. After the rescue of the Russian president, he attends a peace conference in Hamburg along with the US Vice President, who is also captured by Makarov, and major world leaders to discuss peace treaties, and the United States of America is forgiven for the Zakhaev International Airport massacre. This marks the end of World War III and ends the major conflicts that predated in previous installments of the Modern Warfare trilogy. President Vorshevsky enables the Task Force 141 again, free of their charges, to once again hunt down Vladimir Makarov. The muffled shouts of security guards and bullet impacts awake Captain Jonathan Price in an armored van with Yuri. They are both wearing heavily armored bomb diffuser suits, equipped with tactical grenades, light machine guns, and helmets with video uplinks. They arm their weapons and Price locates the tactics out. The two break open the doors, killing the guards inside and blowing up the vans. Then switches reveal the grand and majestic Oasis Hotel in Dubai. The hotel overlooks the expansive city of Dubai to the southeast and the ocean to the northwest. Nikolai informs Price and Yuri via video uplink of their helmets, informing them of Makarov's location and upcoming reinforcements. The two juggernauts make their way down the road to the entrance of the hotel, killing squads and dodging RPGs from the top. Nikolai commands lift with the two men and they enter. Price sees two support helicopters from outside the lift, one heading to the roof to distract Vladimir Makarov, and the other to kill the juggernauts. Price destroys the helicopter firing missiles at them. and then the helicopter crashes into the lift, cracking his helmet and lighting the bomb fuses on fire. Yuri manages to rip his shredded armor off and take off Price's burning suit. The lift starts to crumble and groan as Price regains consciousness. Yuri calls for a new lift from Nikolai and an elevator rises next to them. Yuri fires with his assault rifle and breaks glass. Price and Yuri jump through the glass and crash into the elevator. The lift rises towards the 27th floor, and Makarov escaping to his helicopter. Yuri throws a frag grenade right against the immediate enemies of the elevators. Price and Yuri approach the penthouse, killing the mercenaries attacking them. They go past scared civilians, casino tables, and conference rooms. Price locates Makarov escaping from the restaurant. Price chases after, and a support helicopter fires missiles at Price and destroys the restaurant, breaking the pillars from the wall. Before the restaurant falls from being seen, barely grab onto the middle wire, escaping and falling off the skyscraper. Price climbs on and sees a bloody Yuri, pulling out a piece of rebar embedded in his torso. Price runs up the stairs and reaches the roof, where he sees Vladimir Makarov climbing into the helicopter. Price jumps for the helicopter and grabs on, pulling out the pilot and climbs in. The guard tries to shoot him but misses and blasts the control panel, then Price kills him and pushes him out. Price struggles to control the helicopter and attempts to land on the helipad of the Hotel Oasis. The chopper crashes and Price falls unconscious. Price awakes and sees his reflection in the skylight. Price looks up and sees the cracked and burning helicopter crash site. He sees the injured Vladimir Makarov crawling away from the crash site. Both of them find Makarov's golden Desert Eagle lying on the skylight, and they both crawl to grab the pistol. Price grabs the pistol, but Makarov kicks his hand away, grabs the gun, aims, and says farewell to Captain Jonathan Price. The stumbled and bloodied Yuri appears and tries to fire Vladimir Makarov, but Makarov recovers and fires 2 bullets in his torso and 1 in his head, killing him. Price uses a distraction to land on top of Makarov, punching him and slamming him. Makarov grasps for air while Price grabs a stray metal cable and wraps it around his neck. Price slams him on the skylight. The glass breaks and Makarov screams as they both fall down. Price lands on the balcony of the 27th floor, but Makarov whips back violently, grabbing the metal wire, spinning him from the roof. He slowly chokes to death until Makarov is hanged in front of Price. He crawls away from the broken glass and sees the dead body of Vladimir Makarov. Price lights a cigar and takes a long drag. Captain Jonathan Price watches Vladimir Makarov's body hang as police sirens approach the Hotel Oasis, and Price smokes a cigar as the events of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 come to a close. After Vladimir Makarov was killed in Dubai, not much is known about the Modern Warfare storyline is known and can only be hypothesized. Captain Jonathan Price, Captain MacTavish, and other operators of Task Force 141 are cleared of war crimes and labeled as heroes. Sandman, Truck, and Grinch are erected as patriots from the Delta Force, making Sergeant Derek Frost Westbrook the only surviving operator of Team Metal. The events of the Modern Warfare franchise have not ended, but merely expanded, as anything can happen and anything is plausible. But at last, we have come full circle. Thanks for watching part 3, and I would like to thank those viewers who have been following the series since part 1, and I appreciate that. As a recap, I've split this video into 4 parts: Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and the summary and finale of the Modern Warfare storyline, which will come out in late March. Rate, comment, and subscribe on this video. Share your insight on the Modern Warfare trilogy and on Call of Duty in general. I'm Brachio12898, and I'll talk to you guys later.